Okay guys, we just went over how to use the choice board in the last video, and now I'm going to take you through all of the activities to help you with that. So I'm going to go through them one by one. There are some that just kind of all go together, so I'm going to start with those. On your game board or on your choice board, you'll see all of these QR codes. These are either going to be stories that are being read. They might be a video of a teacher teaching a lesson. They might take you to a website where your child can play a game. So for those, all you're going to do is scan that QR code and have your child either do the lesson or the story or the game, and then they can color in that box once they've finished it. Okay, so let's start up here at the top. The first one is write your name once a day, okay? So I'm sorry about the lawnmower going on outside, but we have already had this page in one of our other packets. So it's going to be the same idea. You are just going to have your child write their name each day. When they write their name, you're going to come up here and you're going to mark off the day that they wrote their name. And once they get to the end, they can color in the box. And for your kids, we're all at different places with writing our names, so whatever your child needs is great as far as supports go. They may be working on their first and last name. They might need to look and copy their name. They might just be working on the first letter and writing the first letter of their name. So just support your kids any way that they need to. The goal here is for them to grow. So just working and practicing every day is great. So that's the name writing. The next activity is a Starlight Starbright poem. It says I can find it on page 5, so I've got that here. And there are 3 activities on the board with Starlight Starbright. We've got 1 up here and 2 down here, okay? So I'm going to tell you how to do each of the activities. The first activity is just to read and reread the poem with your child. Activity 2 is to read the poem and work together to identify all the rhyming words. So Starlight, Starbright, first star I see tonight, I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish, I wish tonight. So you're going to go through and find all the rhyming words. Light, bright, tonight, might, and you can circle them, you can just point them out, however you'd like to do that. And then the third activity there is to read the poem together and call out a letter and its sound. And then you're going to hunt for those letters in the poem. So, like for example, okay, let's find the letter W. Ooh, ooh. And so you're going to go through and find all the W's, and you can circle them, you can color them in. Wish, wish. And then if your child really likes that, you might find another letter. Okay, let's find letter S. S. And they're going to come in through, oh, star. So a fun way to do it would be to get lots of different colors, and we might want to color all the S's yellow and all the W's blue or something like that. So anyway, you guys can have fun with these activities and then color them in on your board. The next activity, we've got a QR code, and then we've got another journal page. We've done this before as well. And there's a prompt that is for your child to draw something about spring, bugs, plants, flowers, animals, or whatever they'd like to draw about spring. They'll draw their picture here, and then they'll dictate to you what to write underneath. Some kids might really like to try to write some of the words about what they drew, so maybe you can help them spell it, and they can write it independently. Just depends on the developmental level of your child. So you guys can have fun with that journal page. The next activity is show the chick grow, and it says I can find that on page 9. So here we go, show the chick grow. All you're going to do on this page is talk about the life cycle of a chicken. You're going to cut out each of the pictures and put them in order 1 through 4. So we've got the egg, number 1, the chick breaking out of the egg, number 2, the baby chicken, number 3, and the adult chicken, number 4. And they'll just paste those in the right spot. If you don't have glue, just set them in the right spot. That's great. The next activity is reading every day. Okay, so pretty self-explanatory, but just let your child pick a story and you can read it to them. An older brother or sister could read to them, or they can even grab their favorite book and look at it independently for 15 minutes a day. And that's another one where you're going to go through each day and mark it off. So when they've completed all 5 days, then they can color in the box. Okay, the next one is Alphabet Scavenger Hunt. So for this one, you're going to need the letter cards that we sent a couple of packets ago. They look like this. If you don't have them anymore, you can use any kind of letter cards. You can make new ones. That's fine. And you're just going to mix them up. You're going to have your child pick out a letter from the stack, identify the letter F, and then you're going to go hunting around the house for anything that starts with the letter F. So it might be flowers, fish, fruit. Then after they find them, you're going to collect all the stuff that started with F. Then you're going to pick a new letter. Oh, I got letter C. Cat. Candy. And you're going to find something that starts with letter C. You're going to go through just a couple of letters, a few letters, until your child gets to where their attention won't hold anymore. And when you find them all, you are going to just put all the stuff that you found together and match the letter to it. So if I found candy, I will put the C by the candy, make a group of it, send a picture of the stuff to your teacher, and then you can color that one in. The next one is guess the letter Hopscotch. Okay, and it's right here on your board. And it says to draw letters on the sidewalk outside and call out the letter or sound and have your child jump to it. Okay, so if you have sidewalk chalk, that's great. If not, I'm going to show you how to do it with these letter cards. Okay, so I'm going to pan my computer down so that you can see. All right, so I've just spread out all the letters on the floor, and what you're going to do is you are going to call out a letter sound like this, zzz, and your child is going to jump to that letter, Z. Okay, then you're going to call it another sound, ah, 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 and they're going to jump to the A, B, 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 and they'll jump to the letter that makes that sound. Now, if your child is still working on their letter sounds and they're not quite as familiar with them, you can help them by saying the name of the letter and then the sound. Okay, so instead of just saying Z, you might say Z, Z, zebra, or something like that to help them if they're not quite as familiar with just the sounds yet. Okay, the next one is movement cards, and it says I can find that on page 10. The movement cards look like this, really cute. And you're just going to cut them out. They're spring movement cards. You're going to mix them up and have your child lay them out in a row, and they are going to complete all of the movements. This is one of the activities that they're going to do every day. So if they do it on Monday, they cross off the letter, and so on. They're going to have a lot of fun with that one. Okay, the next one's a QR code, 2-3 QR codes in a row here. And then this one is called MixedUp Shapes, and you're going to find that on page 11. And it's just a page that looks like this. Pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to cut out or have your child cut out around the boxes, mix up all the halves of the shapes, and then they're going to find each of the matches. So for example, they're going to put this half with this half, and it makes a triangle. Okay, and then the next one is another QR code. It's a game, Starlight Starbright things, and then down here we've got Count Your Home. Okay, and so for Count Your Home, we've got 2 different variations here for 2 different boxes. So the first one looks like this, okay, and they've already got the pictures drawn here, and they've got words here for your kids to trace. But all you're going to do on this activity is you are going to go around your house with your child and have them count. Like, okay, let's see how many doors we have. Then they'll trace the word, and they will write how many doors you have in your house. They might need help writing the number. You may need to write it for them when they're done counting, and then you'll continue with that all the way through the page, counting how many windows, how many lamps, and how many TVs. The other one is count your home, but your child gets to pick what they want to count. So I've done an example here. They might want to count how many bowls you have. So you would draw a picture of a bowl, write the word bowl, and then they'll go and count how many and continue with whatever they want to count. They might want to count pillows or people or whatever in their house. And then they will scratch that one off. And then for the last activity, which I think is the very cutest, you've got this snake spiral cutting activity, fine motor activity. And they're just going to take their scissors and cut the best that they can so carefully around the black line. It's going to be kind of challenging. And then around the outside too. And at the end, they'll have a boingy snake to play with. They want to decorate it. That's awesome. I would recommend decorating it before they cut it out, because it'll be tricky to do it after. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoy the first week of activities. In the next video, I'm going to go over the activities in the second, for the second week, May 11th through 15th. Don't forget to always ask your teacher if you need help. We're here to do whatever we can to support your family.